What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. I'm Michigan Sports Talk here. In this one, we're going to be going over Michigan's dominant win 50-6 over Northwestern, as the Wolverines are getting hot at the perfect time here. Going to be going over my key takeaways from the game plus key quotes as this team looks on to Ohio State next weekend. And we also got some big time recruiting news as Michigan pushing for a top 5 class and trying to add on to it after landing Bryce Underwood. It's all going to be in this video and more, so let's go ahead and get right into it here. And let's start with the game against Northwestern. Where has that been all season? I mean, that was a complete game from this Michigan team. 50-6, the Wolverines win it, and it just capped off what was a very special and exciting week of Michigan football, landing the #1 recruit in the 2025 class, flipping him from LSU, Bryce Underwood. He was obviously on campus along with other top targets and commits in the 2025 class, and Michigan put on a show not only for them but also the seniors. It was senior day, and what a way to go out in the big house, in their last game in the big house. And I mean, listen, this is what we wanted to see coming off a bye week from this coaching staff. They said it, it was a buy-in week. They had some of their best practices, so this was very, very nice to see. It was Michigan's most complete game this season that they've played, and right now they're playing their best football at the right time going into the Ohio State game, which kind of gives you some hope now that maybe, just maybe, if things go their way, the Wolverines could, play a close, tight game and potentially pull off the upset. But this was a nice momentum booster for this team, a confidence builder. Michigan, they had 396 total yards compared to Northwestern's 127. Michigan had 195 passing yards, 201 rushing yards. Northwestern only had 10 rushing yards. The Michigan defense was flying everywhere. Michigan offense, they probably had their best game of the season against, which is not a bad Northwestern defense. It was obviously highlighted by Khalil Mulling's performance, 12 carries, 92 yards, 3 touchdowns. However, Donovan Edwards had a couple explosive plays, especially on one drive where he had 2 explosive runs to give him a touchdown on senior day. He had 65 yards on 10 carries and touchdown. Michigan was also using him in the passing game. Davis Warren found him on a check down multiple times, and the receiving numbers were pretty balanced, and a lot of receivers got some receptions. Tyler Morris was the leader. He had 7 receptions for 64 yards. Colston Loveland had 3 receptions, 22 yards, 1 touchdown. He did get injured on that touchdown. It appears it is a shoulder injury, I believe. He never came back in the second half, so hopefully Michigan can get him back next weekend against Ohio State. That's going to be a big player that they'll need, but we'll see what happens throughout the week. But Davis Warren, other than the interception he had, played a perfect game. 26 of 35, 195 yards, 1 touchdown, did what he had to do, and was also making some plays out there. The offensive line did a better job protecting him. They opened some run lanes, especially in the second half, for Khalil Mullings and Donovan Edwards. So Michigan also got to see some freshmen running backs get in. Micah Kapana had 1 carry. We did see Jaden Davis get in the game, only 1 play though, handed it off to Tavier Dunlap, who then scored on the first play of that drive, which was set up by Jordan Marshall's return, which was a fantastic return. And we also got to see Jordan Marshall carry the ball 7 times for 17 yards, and I tell you what, he has a bright future. He can run that ball. Then you look at the Michigan defense. Wink Martindale, man, he has just been outstanding recently. His defense was flying all over the place. They had 8 tackles for loss, 6 sacks in this one. Also, they had 2 turnovers, 2 interceptions by freshman Mason Curtis, and also Amir Hall. Ernest Halsman had a sack. Kenneth Grant had a sack. Josaiah Stewart had 2. TJ Guy had 1. Enow Etta had a half a sack. So it was an outstanding performance by this whole team, especially in the second half, and Michigan wins it 50-6. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this game in the comment section, but this is exactly how this team should look, especially late in the season. Just the fundamentals, it was a lot better, better on display in this game against Northwestern. So credit to the coaches, this coaching staff throughout the bye week, and they prepared very well. These players, you can tell they're still motivated. They want to finish this season on a good note, and now it's on to Ohio State, and you better believe that these players, they want to win that game and win 4 in a row. And it starts with Josaiah Stewart. What he said post-game, he said, we just want to beat Ohio State. Honestly, me personally, that's all I want to do is beat Ohio State. Davis Warren said, we're going to celebrate the win, but Coach Moore tipped it off by saying, we know what's in front of us, we understand that, but he doesn't need to talk about it. We see it every day in the facility. What are you doing to beat Ohio State today? And Sherrone Moore, he said great momentum, but we all know what that game means. It's a reset. It doesn't really matter what your record is, doesn't really matter what you've done before. That game's different, and we've got to go prepare. So this team's ready, these players are ready, and it's going to be a big game for Sherrone Moore, and it's going to be a game for the fan base to see how Sherrone Moore handles it against Michigan's rival Ohio State, which is going to be the biggest game of the season. And if you win that game, nothing else really matters, about the rest of the season, how it went. If you pull that off, I mean, most Michigan fans are going to look at this season as a success if you win that game. Obviously, we want to, play for championships and, play Ohio State in the type of games it's been the past 3 years. But again, just with how the season has gone, you win that game, nothing else really matters. Sherrone Moore did say post-game that if this was Michigan's most complete game, he said, I would say so for sure. Obviously, point totals will say so. The stats on defense, offense put up 50 points, had great balance, so I'd say complete for sure. So Michigan defeats Northwestern 50-6, and now it's the big one against Ohio State next weekend. Let's go ahead and talk about some recruiting news here to end this video for Michigan. And it was a big weekend for the Wolverines. Bryce Underwood was there. The place was rocking. The vibes were high. Andrew Marsh, he was there. Andrew Babalola, Shamari Earls. But Michigan also hosted some big-time 2025 targets, including the 2025 4-star top 100 edge Javion Hilson from Cocoa High School. He is Brady Hart's teammate, and he canceled his Florida visit to take a visit to Michigan this weekend. So Michigan, they are pushing for him right now. Michigan also hosted the 4-star edge Toby Hastrup for an official visit as well. Michigan also hosted 2 top-ranked cornerbacks out of the 2026 4-star top 100 cornerback Victor Singleton from the state of Ohio, and also the 2026 5-star top 100 cornerback Albert Hill, also from the state of Ohio. And we also did get some more good news on Derek Meadows, the 2025 4-star top 100 wide receiver, current LSU commit. Sam Webb, the Michigan Insider, put in a crystal ball prediction. Now, Alabama has been making a late push for Derek Meadows. It now appears that that is Michigan's major threat now in this recruitment, but it's still looking good for Michigan. And obviously, Bryce Underwood, he is going to convince Meadows as much as possible to join him here in the 2025 class. He wants Meadows in this class. He even asked the Michigan coaching staff if there is room for Meadows and also DJ Pickett, and obviously Michigan said yes. So Michigan, they also potentially have been in contact with the 2025 4-star top 100 wide receiver Quincy Porter, an Ohio State commit. But if you guys remember, Michigan was a top school in his recruitment, and now the Wolverines could potentially push for him as well here late towards early signing period. And Michigan's obviously going after some 5-stars out of Ty Haywood, the offensive tackle, a couple defensive linemen in Jakeem Stewart, and also current Georgia commit Isaiah Gibson. So Michigan recruiting right now, they're pushing for a top 5 class in the 2025 class. And I tell you what, the vibes are high right now in Ann Arbor. Michigan, they got their quarterback for the future of Bryce Underwood. he's going to bring some talent here to Ann Arbor, and Michigan has a lot of momentum going for them right now. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, make sure to go ahead, drop a like, comment down below, and subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. Other than that, hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and we will see you guys in the next video. Go Blue.